What's up, friends? Welcome to another Tracks on Sundays. I'm Trax the Max, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we're on the Only Voids account again, and made some progress since our great pulls last time. Been working hard to power up this dude. I still can't pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna. I've tried to throw some gear on him, but I noticed that gear that I have on my account is actually really horrible. We don't have a lot of Slayer, we don't have a lot of Merciless. Lethal is finally starting to slowly roll in now that I'm doing hard Doom Tower. Only the first boss of Dark Fae though. And even our Savage, I thought we had a lot more, but apparently is also just like at a bare minimum. Like you see a lot of blue in here, 5-star, a lot of pinks, and yeah, no reds, and just very bad gear in general. And yes, we have like Turvold wearing stuff, and we have Yakarl and Cold Hearts wearing Savage, but they're basically wearing builds to do a specific thing. So like Yakarl, for instance, is specifically for Spider, but also doubles as like a damage dealer for Doom Tower waves. Or Fire Knight, Diana Gloompiercer, for instance. Also not the best build in the world. She doesn't have a lot of attack, but she needs quite some speed, and she needs accuracy to land debuffs, so you know, you have to try and get that somehow. But so by doing this, I've used up a lot of my resources to try and get these guys in some decent builds to take them in places like Clan Boss or Doom Tower, and that has kind of left a hole in the supplies of gear for this dude. Now, I'm almost there with the build. I think the build is fairly good. The only thing I would want to have is I would definitely want some more attack, and definitely want at least 10 speed more, preferably 15 or 20 speed more, really, because I've really been enjoying like these nukers being relatively fast, right? 229, 229. That's basically for Clan Boss right now. But it really helps in live arena as well. First, I did want to show you guys the progress that we've been making in Faction Wars. So as you can see, we're at 850 out of 945 stars. So we are literally on the last run here. 3 more rows to go here, and then can finally get our Lydia, which of course is the end goal of the account, right? So yeah, we pushed a little bit in Shadowkin with our new dude. If I'm not mistaken, he was not even properly geared yet either. So we just kind of went back to like the first stages and tried to 3-star them. We threw in that guy, right? He's level 3, but that's just purely from doing Faction Wars. So he was just there to be a body so that we could get extra stars, and that's it. So yeah, we pushed a little bit there. Dwarves, we did get to push quite a bit as well. We even got up to stage 21. However, that was still a little tad too hard for us at the moment. My dudes are just dying a little too quickly. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to get some masteries on my Runekeeper Dazdric here. And I will be going down this route to Bulwark, so that he has some kind of protection for the team. It's only 5%, right? But it does mitigate the damage a little bit, and it does help keep them alive a little longer, because you know, a lot of them are like level 50 and rares. So we need all these little bits that we can get, and this is a pretty decent supportive mastery, I think. So we're gonna go that route and see what it brings us. But yeah, so far Dazdric has been amazing in dwarf factions, right? I also booked him during CVC, so he's a lot better now. He gets all his healing and cleansing back, and his turn meter back way quicker, so can cycle through that a lot faster. Is Really nice. So these two crypts got a little buff, and slowly working on them now. Finally able to do anything in these crypts. Let's see, so we cleared these orc crypts. Nothing changed there, I don't think. Demon spawn I haven't worked on yet, but of course we do have our second copy of Padma. So she's still level 1. I haven't done anything with this new Padma just quite yet. But after my video, I realized something that I didn't really catch immediately while I was pulling shards. I guess I was kind of bummed out by the fact that I pulled another one of these. But there's something that she has that I probably should have talked about when I pulled her. And that is actually this A3 right here. Now, I'm not 100% sure which stage is the last stage of this specific faction, but this skill right here can be really nice to like strip a Valkyrie or a Man-Eater, or you know, like the annoying buffs that you don't want to deal with. She can strip those off of somebody and actually steal them. This should actually just say steal all buffs from target, right? And it's on a 3-turn cooldown, so you know, if you can like get back to this gal really fast, you can like just start stealing buffs off of people. Maybe you steal speed buffs off of people and just, you know, go faster that way as well. So yeah, I don't know, maybe 2 Padmas is actually pretty decent. It's also a really nice way to almost assure that like the boss is going to have a decrease attack on all the time, right? And probably also decrease accuracy all the time. 50% decrease accuracy, again, is something you should not underestimate, because it more or less means you don't really need resistance, or just so little of the resistance that you'll probably just get it with like your affinity bonuses maybe, and maybe like faction wars. Yeah, like this one already has 102, so slap some gear on there, get maybe another 100, and you'll probably resist anything that faction wars throws at you if you have the decreased accuracy on the enemies. So that's kind of insane actually if you think about it. Yeah, and then again, you could put her into a sunset, have some extra crowd control with that. She's defense based, so I'm not completely sure if her stats are actually that amazing. I'll have to check here. She's fast. Well, decently fast, 101. Already has the 45 resistance. But her HP and defense is nothing to write home about, I'd say. Kind of mid, right? Kind of mid. But overall, she's a decent champion, so. Okay, so over in Tribe, all these are done. And then we have Skinwalkers, which I finally cleared the boss, but I haven't 3-starred it yet. It was close. It was like, I don't know, he had like 15% HP left or something, and right then he knocked down one of my dudes, and yeah, unfortunately we did not get the 3 stars for that, but it is so close, man. And I did have to do some pretty obnoxious stuff to get to that point. A lot of manual work, kind of felt like the undead again, only here I didn't really have like a main game plan. Like in the undead, we knew, okay, we get to the boss, we try to manipulate the turn meter just long enough so the Kafrus could put up their taunt and their unkillable buffs, right? In this faction, it's kind of just like, we go in and we just try to kill the boss, and that's basically it. Just try to kill the boss and survive their hits. Now, let's see, where is the Skinwalkers? Okay, so this is our team, literally, and for the occasion, so this is the gear I have for my clan boss team, right? So I also just keep him in this gear just like this for like dungeons and stuff like that, or Doom Tower, whatever I use them for. But for the faction war specifically, I spent, I think, around 10 million or 12 million silver. It wasn't even an artifact enhancement or anything like that. I just, you know, I was just pushing, and I felt like it was so close, and we were able to get, you know, we were able to kill the boss, but just barely didn't survive long enough. But so I have these preset managers. So I got one for a stun set that I tried out a long time ago in Doom Tower, but this is the one that I used for the faction war. So lifesteal to, you know, keep himself alive a little longer. Same for this guy. Also has a lifesteal preset. I think it was the bottom one. I don't know why there's three. One of these was the one I used. And then this guy, I thought that this was going to be a good idea for the occasion, but eventually I had to give in and say, well, you too need a lifesteal set to, you know, get to the boss healthy and have any shot at all to try and defeat the thing, because it's pretty hard, man. It's pretty hard. So basically these three in lifesteal. Now that does, of course, mean that their damage isn't that crazy. We do have 14% ignore defense from our area bonuses, so that does help a lot. That goes a long way when we're trying to do damage to the boss and the waves in general. But yeah, of course you would rather have them not be in lifesteal and just have some decent support to go around them. So speaking of support, we did 6-star these 2 cows, and I think that's like the most obnoxious part of this whole situation. I didn't really want to do this, but there's just no champions coming our way, it feels like. And, you know, I felt like they might have a shot at succeeding. And, I mean, I guess they kind of did, right? We did kill the boss, but we need just a little bit more help. So the idea is, this guy right here is holding a bolster set, as you can see, and this guy is holding a guardian set. Now it's not fully leveled, so we can also work on that still. I think this is pretty much level except for the weapon, but I don't think leveling the weapon does anything for us. It could get flat HP, I guess. That's the best it could give us, and yeah, we don't really care about that much, so I'm probably not gonna be doing that. But we could also, you know, still spend ascensions on them if we want to. There's some upgrades possible for this team for sure, and this one's not 60 yet, of course. But what I'm also doing right now is I'm also getting the masteries for this guy and doing the same thing as the Does Dark and going down this path to try and get Bulwark. So then basically we have this guy in a bolstered, which you can see right here, gives the big shield in the beginning of the turn for 3 turns. Well, in the beginning of the round for 3 turns, and then heals this guy for 10% each turn. So that's the equivalent of 3 immortal sets plus 1% extra. So, you know, that's some decent healing. It's not quite a regeneration set, but it is a good chunk of healing. And I gotta say, this guy keeps himself alive relatively okay. He has a decent amount of HP, he has a decent amount of defense, and he's quite fast. So his thing is just, you know, be there with the big shields and just heal up, heal up, heal up. Eventually with Bulwark take some extra damage. And then of course, you know, he does the ally protection, and if the boss ever crits, he puts up the continuous heals on your ally, which does come up quite often actually. So, but this is like literally the move that you want him for. The ally protection is really good, and it's the only reason why we're able to actually get through the boss. Now, this guy is doing the same thing. Seems like I also booked out his A3. I didn't know if I did, but I did, and that is helping us a lot as well, because you really want to get back to that A3 or A2 as soon as possible on a 3-turn cooldown. But this one is wearing the Guardian set, which also heals 10% every turn, plus 3% from the Immortal right here, so a little bit extra, but he's also taking a little extra damage because he's absorbing 10% of the damage dealt to all champions. So the idea is that the cows will be doing all the damage reduction, healing themselves with their sets, and doing ally protections as well. So they're taking some massive damage. I think actually even in the last run I tried, this cow actually died because he just took too much damage in one blow. Yeah, again, like you can see here, this one's not built up properly yet, so we still have a lot of room to improve this. There's not even glyphs on some of these things, so we're gonna have to beef up this cow, man, and see if we can't get through it this way. But I mean, to be fair, I got a lot further than I ever expected to get with this team right here. I did not expect these guys to even have a shot at clearing the faction, right? But here we are. So cool stuff. The timing of this is not all, like, this didn't all happen this previous week. I think some of it happened last week already, but because of the shard pulls and stuff, I had to skip it and make one video out of all of this stuff that's happening. But that's the update for the faction wars. I mean, I'm impressed. I hope you guys are impressed. Again, what these cows could do over here was pretty impressive, and what does Dark and the Dwarf Crypt could do for a couple of rares really impressed me as well. Our new dude hasn't really had the chance to shine quite yet. I think when this comes around in 6 days again, we'll have another shot and we can see if we can actually push a little further. Maybe take up one of these other dudes, one of these rares, up to a level 50 or something, because I think one is level 50, but the other one is level 30, so maybe even to 40 will help us a little bit there. But yeah, we do want some more help here for sure, though, because like this is, you know, this is not much what we got going here. This is, even the gear can still be leveled apparently. Yeah, this is just some trash gear I threw on just to have a body, I guess, right? So dungeons and stuff, I really haven't been trying to improve anything after the Sand Devils. Now, I do have to say, we had a CVC last Tuesday. That's why you see all this energy here. I was a dum-dum and I clicked the claim rewards button. Now, this was a really, really close CVC, but we got 279k right here, which was just short of getting this epic book and these 2 void shards, which kind of was a bummer for me, because so what happened was I wanted to auto run Sand Devil because there was a tournament going on for Sand Devil, right? I think it's still even in here, if I'm not mistaken. Take a look real quick. It's taking its time, so I guess I'll have a drink then. Sand Devil, yeah, here you go. Yeah, I didn't even clear it. It was only 3,200, but I didn't even clear it. Now, what happened? It's so laggy, dude. Okay, but as you can see, I only got 2,500 points, which was also a bummer. So what happened was I had my Aniri in the wrong build. I still had her with a resistance banner on. I think I used that to clear the previous hard Doom Tower or something like that. And I just threw the team in and went to bed. I didn't even notice that I failed a bunch of runs with that resistance banner. The funny thing is, it does work sometimes with this banner, but this 5,000 HP almost and this little bit of defense does make a difference when we're doing the runs. But yeah, I just noticed this way too late that she had the wrong gear on, man. And it was like, man, I could have definitely got to the 300k if I hadn't screwed that up. So yeah, we could have had 8 shards instead of the 6 that we have right now, but oh well, you know. What do you do again? You were pretty cool, weren't you? Flourish of Slaughter on the A1. A pretty cool name for an A1. AoE has a 50% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 5%. A double hitter instead. If Minaya is on the same team, we don't care about that. We can't use Minaya. Has a 100% chance to place a provoke for 1 turn. Block debuffs and increase defense on this champion for 2 turns. That's on a 3-turn cooldown. Is that good enough? I guess for like Hydra, if you build resistance on him, he might be able to be the mischief tank. That could be something. It's also a placing of the provoke, which means that even if there's poison cloud up for some reason, if you missed your block buffs or something, he can still do it through that because he's not attacking. That's kind of good. That plus an AoE on the A1 is really nice. And then another AoE places a decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Places the big boy decreased defense debuff on targets under decreased attack debuffs. Okay. So that's a 4-turn cooldown and 100% shot at doing so. No, wait. It's always 100%. Okay, that's even better. Not that we don't have the books for him if we would get him, but yeah, I've never had a Coronar before actually. I mean, he seems pretty cool, dude. Counterattacks when hit by enemies under decrease attack, decrease defense, or decrease speed. Okay. And he puts that up himself, so that's pretty nice. And Spectacle places a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns if this champion kills an enemy. HP based. He's pretty cool, dude. I mean, specifically for an account like ours, he does a lot of things. Like, he's not a Krisk, but he does seem to, you know, do a decent amount of stuff. HP based with 27k HP? Yo. Is that like the highest possible? Who has the highest HP? I mean, out of legendaries, I don't really want to get into the mythicals, but who else could have that? Maybe she only has 23. That's what I thought. That's a lot of HP, dude. 22. 22. Any orcs? Like 22. See, 22, 23, 24 seems like a lot. 27. Holy cow. That might be the highest HP in the whole game. That's crazy. Very low defense though. And man, what is that speed, dude? Needs to have 5 speed more. And should have more than 1,000 defense, in my opinion. But maybe that would make him too strong with 27,000 base HP. I don't know. Huh. What did I say about Faction Wars? Probably really good, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. It's my wife's birthday this week, so I decided to take some days off from work. Messed around with my screen here. I think it's set up good this time. I hope so, and I hope my audio goes better than last week. My apologies for that again. I was fairly irritated by that myself. So what we're gonna do to try and make up for that is pull one shard today. I think that's fair. Now, what do we want, or who do we want for this? Because like Odin is amazing too, man. Like Coronal would help us in Faction Wars for sure, but I mean, Odin is just... Odin's baller, man. I have him on my main account. He's baller. Yeah. Just, I think I want him. And I think for Skinwalkers, having an extra copy of a Kempton could never really hurt either, right? So, we're getting what... Well, we're going for one Skinwalker and then one cool champion that is also useful in live arena and anywhere, really. Alright, I'm not gonna pull all these shards. I'll pull 2. Okay, so I don't piss off too many people, because this is really not a good idea at all. But I just feel like doing it, and you know, sometimes you just have to go with your feeling. It's a celebration for my wife's birthday, so here we go. Hey, this was actually the last rare I needed. So there you go. Shout out to Jay Giggs, his favorite champion in the entire game. Oh, an epic. The face this armor has. That's how I feel right now. You see that? That's my face. Weird looking Kempton, isn't it? I guess we have some more faction guardians. Does that do anything for us? Resistance and accuracy? A little bit, I guess. Not super useful, but if we get down here, +6 speed, that'll be nice for sure. But I don't really think I'm gonna be doing anything with this copy. Holy smokes, I completely forgot. We also cleared Knight's Rev. That was something that I didn't do yet, right? So in the wow, I almost forgot like the biggest thing. So good thing we pulled some shards and some of them were Knight's Revs, or otherwise I would have completely forgotten about it. But yeah, another faction down. So that means we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So Knight's Revs, I'll go over that real quick, just a minute, and then I'll let you guys go. This was a team, so Golden Reaper, pretty fast at 325, even faster in Faction Wars, I think, right? Yeah, 337 in Faction Wars. Only 180 accuracy, so that maybe that should be a little higher. But she does usually land her decrease attack on the A1 or A2, I'm sorry, which is really helpful for the boss. Like without the decrease attack, you're not killing the boss. He just demolishes the team. For the occasion, I had put her into a stun set that you can see right here, and this one already was in a stun set, so we just left her the way she is. And we actually did use Renegade instead of Centurion. I was saying that she didn't really bring much to the table last time I talked about her. I was wrong. I have to give props to Renegade. Renegade does bring a decreased speed, and even if it's just like the small version of decreased speed, it is a version of decreased speed, and it does help slow down the boss so you can take your time to kill it, because that is the boss that actually says, hey, let's health swap, right? That's the health swap. A very annoying boss. Just put it that way. Very annoying boss. And yeah, we don't have a decreased defense or anything like that. We only have the weakens that these guys, well, these gals all play. These are all female, by the way. Charlie's Angels, okay. And Whisper in a Relentless set. This was her build. It is her build. I haven't really touched it. I just put her into this and that was it. And I never really looked back. It could be better. She deserves more attack for sure. But she's relatively fast. She's Relentless. So she takes a lot of turns, does a lot of damage. And yeah, pretty cool. What is really, really cool about this actually is that she did this before I actually even booked her. So I booked her during this CVC, but before that, she had already helped clear the boss. And yes, she was, in fact, one of the reasons why we were able to get through the boss, because there was like a couple of clutch extra turns that she took that just did so much damage, dude. This move specifically, this skill right here, you get the weaken off with the skull crowns, and then you follow up with this gal, and she'll put up a increased attack. So even though she has low attack, she does buff it herself a little bit, right? And then she just does this will ignore defense if target is under a weaken. So ignore defense is literally just, you know, smacking through pure damage. And yeah, I'm not completely sure what the numbers were that I saw, but I think like some of them were like 200k and stuff, which granted, I know that's not insane, but it is kind of insane for this account. And it is the reason why we were able to get past the boss. So really, really cool stuff. Like 220 or something, I think I saw. Yeah, they did it. So that's another check mark off the list. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me again this week. If you have any questions, as usual, in the comment section, I'm glad to try and reply to them. Not always able to, but if I can, I will give my best answer possible. And yeah, other than that, as always, hope you guys have a nice rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.